All right, what's going on, friends? Supposedly the internet that we ordered should get here today. So we're gonna try filming on the GoPro, which means that I will get to edit this video on my computer, which should be cool. Get back into that. That means I can use the good mic again for voiceovers, because people always used to like raw training footage with a voiceover in post, doing a little bit more detailed explanation rather than my intra-workout rambling. So we'll get back into that as well. So that should be a good bit of fun. Today we have deadlifts and pause front squats. I'm gonna text Paris, talk about maybe doing some double bounce front squats today. There's just some mechanics with what I'm doing with my feet that I really don't like. Double pauses offer me an opportunity to work on that, that pauses don't seem to simulate. Either way, I don't really care. It's the accessory day. Just gonna put in some hard front squats, continue building up that front rack position, because that's most of what's going on right now. I still don't think I'm really touching the limits of my leg strength, just continuing to develop my flexibility, as well as my thoracic extensors. So the main priority today is the deadlift. Working weight is 630. We'll see what I get there. It's a double caffeine pill day, so we're lit. So yeah. I'm repeating this weight because I didn't crunch into the belt. So for a while now, I've worked on locking in a little bit more extension to my deadlift. Sometimes I over-exaggerate that and forget to kind of produce force in the opposite direction, right? Because what we're ideally trying to do, or at least how I try to teach it, is you kind of have your lats and your spinal erectors, which are pulling you towards extension. You have your abs kind of locking in a plank type position, resisting that. So we have directions pulling in either way, and that's what creates a tense, rigid torso. So right there, I didn't crunch into the belt and create enough force coming forward, pulled myself into extension, and just kind of did that pull in extension, which looks pretty, and people will say, oh, what a flat back you have. But realistically, that's not how the majority of the best deadlifts are done. They're either done in a roughly anatomically neutral position, however we want to define that, as like a very small amount of curvature, or even a bit more to improve the leverages off the floor, especially if we're talking conventional. So don't want to over exaggerate it. It's the reason that high level weightlifters have very competitive squats for their respective weight classes, even though they don't have tight knee sleeves and a belt on, and they're doing it high bar. They train a lot. It's a form that works, but their pulls comparatively, A, it's prioritized less in the sport, right? And B, when they do it, they're pulling from extension, because that's what's going to have a greater transference to a snatch and a clean and jerk, whereas it's not necessarily the best technique for picking the most weight up off the floor, which would be my job as a strongman. Shoot. Ah. Whew.
Hey pups.